Hi, beautiful people. Welcome to yet another episode of Lovelyhood. I hope all of you have had a great week. So, I'd just like you guys to subscribe if you haven't done so and like this video before we just start. If you are interested in finding out how you can use self love as a tool to cope with other relationships, do stay tuned in. I'll see you now. Self love once again. So, in this week's episode, we will be discussing how we can use self love as a tool to coping with other relationships in our lives. So, the first thing I would like to discuss is the idea that self love, or self discovery rather, assists us in finding out how we want to be treated by others in the other relationships that we have in our lives. Through the treatments that you discover in your self love or your self discovery journey, you find out how, what kind of treatment you'll be able to tolerate and what treatment you won't tolerate. And that is important because when you find out how you want others to treat you, in spaces where you find out that people aren't treating you the way you want them to, you want to quickly get yourself out of those spaces because those relationships then don't work for you as you would have expected them to. Just to give you an example of myself, I don't like liars, I don't like dishonesty, and I try not to lie, at least not unnecessarily anyway. I try to be as honest as I can with the parties of my relationships. So in an environment where I find someone lying to me, I immediately get out of that relationship because that is not in alignment with the treatment that I've set for myself through my self-discovery journey. So that is just one of the examples, one of the many examples that I have for myself. I know a lot of people have a different view. Some people believe that sometimes it's necessary to lie. Personally, I don't think it is. So, it differs for everyone, and there is no right or wrong answer or sort of criteria to it. If it works for you, it works for you, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. So that is the first point regarding self-love as a tool. And I think it's very important to realize that however you treat yourself, that mirrors and it reflects onto other people. So people will immediately catch on it and they'll treat you accordingly because that's what they see you do, and that's how they grasp that, okay, this is how this person wants to be treated, or this is not in alignment with this person's values or this person's beliefs, and so forth. The second thing is that through self-love, you learn that you don't always have to do things to get something in return. And self-love is very important for that idea because people tend to do things just because they think, oh, maybe this person's going to love me back or I'm going to get this in return. When you love yourself completely, you learn the art. I call it art really because it is art. To be able to just love without expecting anyone to do anything in return. And to be okay with it in circumstances where people don't treat you the way you treated them. What you need to realize is that not everyone is like you, and not everyone will do things like you do them. And that is absolutely okay. Nothing is wrong with that. Yes, sometimes it hurts. I know I'm still learning about it, and sometimes my feelings do get touched when I do things and I find out that this person did the exact opposites of what I did for them. But I'm slowly learning that I love myself enough to just do things because they are right, to just do things because it's a humanly thing to do, and to leave it just at that, and not dwell on the fact that why is this person not doing this in return, and why would this person do this after everything that I've done for them. I know it's a girl thing, so just this is, I think it's a very important message for the women out there more specifically. We tend to do so much, and I know our feelings get sort of dented when we don't get the same treatment in return. Love yourself enough to do things because it is the right thing to do things because it is what you want to do, and not because you're expecting something in return. So that is point number 2 of this episode. The last point that I want to touch on is the fact that self-love is a tool to helping you cope with other relationships. Not master relationships, not master people, not be the relationship guru of your life. Because the truth is, you can never master people. I mean, there's only certain control that you have over the relationships in your life. You know, you have control over what you do, you have control over your responses. You can never have control over how the other parties respond to your actions, for example. You can never have control over how people do things. And that is important, that you realize that as long as you doing your end, you keeping to the end of your bargain, and you doing what you think is right for you at that time, then that's all that you can really do. You cannot master other people. You cannot control them. You cannot tell them how to live their lives or how they need to respond to the situations or the circumstances in your relationship. It doesn't work. And it doesn't matter how much you love yourself, how much you reflect that onto other people. You could never, ever control other people. And nothing is wrong with that. I don't think our Creator created us to control each other. And don't you think life would have been boring anyway if you could tell someone, do this, and that's exactly what they would do? I don't think there'd be life or fun, or any learning to acquire from the process of living. I hope that those 3 points helped you in realizing that self-love doesn't just concern you as yourself, but it can also help with other parts of your life as well, and other relationships that make up your life. Until next week for the next episode, goodbye, and please, please, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to like this video. Bye.